comes to your food, local is just better. Shopping at your community-owned co-op grocery store for food that's locally grown and produced can make a difference in the world. After all, we value the people and the planet in everything we do. And we're dedicated to connecting you with the local suppliers that help keep our community vibrant and strong. Visit Green Star, your community co-op. Shopping local makes a world of difference. Go local. Go co-op. Go Green Star.
Hi, welcome back to Get Foodie. Today we're going to Side Hill Acres, a goat farm, where they make cheese, yogurt, and a whole bunch of other delicious products from goat milk. We're all very excited to get to meet the goats, learn a little bit about them, as well as enjoy some goat milk just by itself. Then when we come back to the kitchen, we're going to make something that's usually pretty kid-friendly, pizza. But we're going to mix it up a little bit. First, we're going to have fun making the dough. Then we're going to get adventurous with a whole range of healthy toppings. Organic sauce, veggies, and of course goat cheese to top it all off. It's going to be messy, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
We arrived at Side Hill Acres as Rita was in the midst of making soft goat cheese. We got to experience the cheese making process, but first we had to put on some stylish and hygienic headgear.
Can you tell us about making the soft goat cheese? Sure. Well, when we pasteurize, we add our culture and then our vegetable rennet, and then we take it to the pails from the pasteurizer and put it into the two outside vats. Once they're filled with the lids on, it'll incubate until the following day, and about 18-20 hours, and then we'll hand ladle each curd into these log molds. It takes about 4 hours to unload the whole vats into these molds. Once we do that, we let it set until the following day, and then we flip and salt them, and that's what I'm doing right now. We just take them out of the molds. This is our only source of preserving, is the little bit of salt that we put onto it, and then put it into the molds upside down. And then we let it drain for about another 8 hours. And then it goes into the cooler for 2 days, and then we unload them, and then age them for approximately another 7 days, and then package them.
So what happens with this leftover curd? Are you going to make more?
We make spread.
Oh, right.
Make a cheese spread. Yeah, we put nettings along the side and nettings on the bottom so that it captures the curd that goes through the holes of the molds, and then we just make spread out of it. So nothing's wasted.
What happens with the whey?
The whey gets fed to pigs.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a tub outside where we have the hose that goes through there. The whey is very high in protein, so it actually raises really good pigs.
Yeah, you know, you always hear the nursery rhyme about little Miss Muffet eating her curds and whey.
Yeah. I usually say that when we have the tours, you know, and there's so many adults as well as kids that actually never seen what curd and whey was, you know, before it became cheese.
Right.
So, you know, it winds up being a learning experience. This was curd until we molded it and started draining the whey out of it.
Right.
And then it just turns into the cheese.
So it's really the same thing.
Right.
What's the difference between a cheese that's made with pasteurized milk and non-pasteurized milk, like nutritionally?
All the natural enzymes, proteins are still in the milk when you're using a raw milk cheese.
Okay.
When you're pasteurizing it, bringing the milk up to a temperature of 145. That's what we do. And we hold it for a half an hour, and then we cool it down to about 76 degrees. And then add our culture and rennet, and then put it into the two outside vats there, and then mold it the next day.
So a raw milk cheese preserves all those natural beneficial enzymes
Yes.
in the milk.
Yes.
But legally, you can't do that with a softer cheese.
Anything that's made out of raw milk has to age over 60 days. Goat cheese has a tendency to take on different flavors when you're doing it raw, you know, letting it age that long. So therefore, we just do a fresh goat cheese
Yeah.
and just do the cheddar.
Yeah, I noticed that the cheddar definitely has a much more intense flavor
Yeah,
than your
yes.
feta or your
Right.
regular farm.
And that's because it's aged. Okay, so this is our milk house here. And what we do is we milk in the cans and then we bring it in here, strain it through the strainer, and then it stays in the bulk tanks until we process it. Now the goats are very friendly. So, you know, they're gonna get right in your face. Just push them out of the way, okay? Alrighty. Have fun.
Here, look. You gotta squeeze and pull down. Squeeze and pull down.
I did it!
There you go. Yeah, you got it. Oh. Cool. That's it. You put it around. Put your hand all the way around it like this and pull down. Squeeze and pull down. No, you're not. There's a goat eating my hand.
How long have you been raising goats?
25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some days when things get a little hectic, and, you know, you get wrapped up in everything that's going right or something like that, just go out to the barn, you know, and they look at you in the eyes. They don't care what you're having to be a day. You know, they love you no matter what, so it's quite an experience.
We're back in the kitchen and we've learned about milking goats and how to make goat cheese. So now we're ready to cook with some goat cheese. Today we're going to make individual pizzas with goat cheese.
To make a pizza, we're going to use 2 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and about a tablespoon of yeast.
That's right, the water's next, Emma. First we have to stir everything together before we add the water. All right, so we mixed our dry ingredients. Now we're going to add 1 cup of warm water and 3 tablespoons of oil.
I want to open it.
Okay, you open it for me. I really like the flavor of extra virgin olive oil in pizza dough, so that's what we're going to use.
Now it's my turn.
It's about 3 tablespoons.
My turn.
And now Emma's going to help us stir, aren't you, Emma? Here you go. Now, pizza crust is a classic slow food. It's all about the time you put into it. So if you want a pizza crust that's really chewy, like a traditional good pizzeria, then what you need to do is put some time into letting it rise, because giving the dough time to rise is what's going to give it that nice chewy texture. If you don't mind a crust that's crispier and a little bit more like a biscuit kind of dough, then you don't have to let it rise so long. So we're going to let ours rise for a while, about an hour and a half, but you could use it right away if that's what you wanted. All right, let's see how we are. You did a good job. We just have a little more flour to mix in. And you can finish up. No, I think we're good on olive oil for the moment, but we are going to have to put some on the baking pans later, okay? You can help with that.
Now the cheese.
The cheese goes on top at the very end, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So we're not ready for that yet. Can you hold this mushroom for me? Okay, hold it. Don't let it go. Hold on to it. You can grate it if you want, sure. I've never had grated mushrooms on pizza, but it could be yummy. All right. So now that we've got our dough stirred up, we're going to add a couple more cups of flour as we can get it worked in. We're going to work in as much as we can in the bowl and then turn it out onto our board. It's very difficult to work with. And this is the fun part where we get to knead.
Oh, can I knead?
Yep, you can knead, and Emma can knead. Just going to work that flour in.
Uh-oh.
So you'll end up using between 3 and 4 cups of flour, most likely.
She put the
I think that's
mushroom
enough
in the
grated
tomato
mushrooms,
sauce.
Emma. Are you going to put those on top of your pizza? The mushrooms? You are. Okay. No,
Can I help?
I think that's enough grated mushrooms. Are you going to help with the dough? Look what we're doing over here, Emma. Are you going to help knead the dough?
I need the dough now.
Yep, in just a second. I'm going to get all these little bits in here. Takes about 6 to 8 minutes of kneading. All right. That's right. Just keep folding it over into itself. You don't want to tear it, but just fold it. And as you get more flour in there, it's going to get a little stiffer. All right, Emma, you ready for a turn? That's right. All right, now I'm going to take a turn and see how we're doing. Well, I think we're going to have to wait a little while before we're ready to put the toppings on the pizza. We're going to have to let it rise and then roll it out. Right? Remember how we did that? We made little circles. Put the sauce on there.
You missed that.
Did I miss some? You want to put it back on here for me? Oh, the little bits of dough. But I don't really want those little bits of shredded mushroom in there.
Some more.
There we go. When your dough is done kneading, it'll form a ball that's smooth on the top and that has some give to it. But if you've got your board properly floured, which you do need to make sure that you've constantly got flour underneath your dough ball, you should end up with a nice round ball that's completely smooth, and you can keep folding and folding without it tearing as you knead it. There it is.
That's pretty.
Now that we've finished with our dough, we're going to coat it in oil and let it rise for about an hour and a half. Or until about doubled in size.
I want to do that.
Okay, hit the dough. There you go. All right, hit the dough. All right. We're going to punch it down.
I want to.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Make sure it's really flat. Is it flat? Really flat. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's great. We're going to make some pretty small individual pizzas. We're going to split into 8 pieces. You could do 6 or 4. You know what? You're going to be able to do your own pizza, okay? All right, I'm going to divide this up. Rebecca, could you put some flour on the counter for us? I'm going to give you a piece just for you, okay? All right, hold on a second.
Spread that around a little bit, Ems.
Now, the size of your individual pizza will, of course, depend on how many little pizzas you make with this batch of dough, and also how thick you want your pizza crust to be. If you like really thin and crispy, then, of course, you're going to get a bigger round than if you want a thicker crust. We're going to go with the fairly thin crust and small pizzas so we can make lots of different fun varieties. And here's my big cheat. I've never mastered the spinning the pizza in the air thing, so we're going to roll them out with a rolling pin. And apparently quite a lot of flour.
Sorry.
All right. We've floured our counter and our rolling pin. Okay, Emma.
And Emma.
And we floured Emma thoroughly. Are you ready? We're going to roll it out with the rolling pin. Okay.
No, I want to.
You do it. Okay, now hold on a second. Pick up the rolling pin for just a second. Okay, now we're going to turn it this way and roll it like that. That's right. That way it'll end up being like a circle. Because we want it to look like a circle. Well, we got to push down a little bit. Can you push down a little? While you roll. Okay, now pick up the rolling pin again. Okay. Push down while you roll. Okay. Let's see. That's pretty round. That's a good circle, but I think we should make it a little flatter. What do you think? Oh, don't let it get wrinkled. Here. Don't get your little fingers in the way.
No. Let's put some flour on it.
Well, I don't think it needs any more flour. It's pretty floury. What do you think? Is that good? Is that how big you want it? All right.
What about this?
Rebecca? You can do it by hand too, and that's pretty good. Then you get a little bit of thicker crust. If you roll it, you can know that you've got a really even thickness all across the middle of the pizza. You could make a triangle-shaped pizza if you wanted, or an oval-shaped pizza, or any kind of shape you want to.
I want to make a triangle-shaped pizza.
Okay. right, don't get your little fingers underneath the rolling pin.
Is that thin enough or do you want it thinner?
That's great. All right, you want to put your triangle-shaped pizza on the board? On the cookie sheet?
It's a little hard. Don't want it to break.
It doesn't seem like it would
I think
taste
I'm
so
gonna make
good
a
to me.
square-shaped pizza.
Okay, you give that a try. Pizza dough is way more fun than Play-Doh.
You can eat it, it's edible.
Okay, you can have another one. Hold on. This one's pretty little.
Okay. Oh.
Let's get a little more flour over here for you, because you really need a lot more flour. Just doesn't spin.
Oh, you did it!
Well, I don't know if it's actually accomplishing anything, but it's gonna end up in my hair.
Uh-oh.
It's not a good hat. What kind of shape is that pizza crust gonna be?
That's going to be a track.
A what?
Track.
A track?
Yeah.
A track for what?
For pizza.
Well, there's nothing like a good pizza track to keep the pizza on track. Right?
Hey, look at that.
Wow, that's a very interesting shape. What kind of shape is that?
That's an elephant.
An elephant. Where's the elephant's head?
It's here.
Mm-hmm. And where's his tail? Is he upside down? He's an upside down elephant. I see. Well, that's very interesting.
I wanted mine.
So here's his head?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we should put him on a cookie sheet so we can put some toppings on him and bake him.
This looks like a circle, but this sort of looks like a jar with a lid.
So before we put our toppings on our pizza, we're going to bake them in the oven at 400 degrees for 5 minutes. Then we're going to put on the toppings and we're going to bake them for about another 10 minutes, depending on the size of the pizza, the amount of toppings you use, and the thickness of the crust. Now, this is my favorite part, the part where we put the toppings on the pizza. Now we're ready to eat our individual goat cheese pizzas.